Howdy do, y'all. Tables here. You'll have to excuse my voice. I'm very, very under the weather. So we're trying to get over this muck and mud that we got going on with us. Um, Update on the RF juggernaut. Things have progressed and things are looking really, really, really solid. I want to look at the POB first before we get into the gear. And for those that are here, there will be some gameplay footage at the end of this video. No commentary, just straight footage. And so you can look through that and see how the build feels. Um, One of the big upgrades we made, we spent 9 div. We bought the 2120 Val Regis Fire. Now, mind you, this is only level 25. It could be level 27 if we were to put this setup in a +2 AoE in the helm, but we haven't gotten that far yet. We're looking at about like Maven DPS, about 2.8 million. We changed up some of the gem setup, right? So we dumped Blasphemy, Flammability, and Skitter for Malevolence, Defiance Banner, Self Cast Flam, and Infernal Cry, which I think is just a better setup overall. We have some fire damage to attack, so we're using Combustion to get that extra 10%. So it's definitely like a more active play style, right? We're self casting, we're making sure that we're shield charging, things like that. It really like maximizes our reserved mana and it maximizes our DPS, right? And so if we're just doing general mapping, we're at about 5 million with Val Righteous Fire, mind you, right? Shave off about a mil point three, and that's what it's going to be without Val Righteous Fire. Um, but Val Righteous Fire is just so nice. It really is so nice. As far as our tree goes, it's a pretty cut and dry tree. We're almost at 100,000, 100,000 buffed armor, energized armor. I ended up finding one with corrupted blood, so we don't have to take the mastery, and we can then put it elsewhere. Our defenses are looking fairly solid at the moment. And then another thing that I think we're gonna do is we're gonna dump this pantheon right here, and we're gonna go full on into Brian King. I realize we're not going to take a ton of advantage of the stunted block recovery, but we're not going to be able to be frozen, which is going to be huge for survivability, right? Um, and then also dumping Solo Shikari for most likely Rallycash, because Rallycash still does a lot of it does it kind of like the bleeding really kind of dicks us, uh, and it hurts terribly. And it's we stay moving all the time, so it's I think it's really worth going that because we are more or less max chaos res at the moment. And then here's our defenses, and our tooltip is almost 600k, so not too bad. As far as our gear goes, we've made some upgrades to the gear. We got a new pair of gloves, and I'll be dumping some of these Eldritch Implicits, trying to fish for some max all res, or not max all res, but just max like Ellie res and stuff, just to make us a little bit more tanky. This is the same scepter that we had before, same helmet, um, same glorious plate, but we swapped the Rising of the Phoenix for the Sappho's frame, for the all res, which I think is super important. This has been a wonderful, wonderful shield, and it increases the damage of our fire trap as well. Every gem is quality now with Awaken setup. Um, every main skill is 2120, and it just really helps a ton with the whole DPS situation, right? Self crafted this, and it worked out just beautifully. This is probably like a 1 to 2 div jewel. Also, really crazy side note, I I crafted this insane jewel absolutely bonkers, right? So I, you're not gonna believe this. So I crafted max life in fire damage, right? Regaled into fire damage multi, and then EX slammed into damage over time. Insane jewel for this build. I think it's worth like 7 div right now. It's nuts. So that's the build. And it's looking and it feels, honestly, it feels amazing. The map, like the map clip that I have, does not do it justice, but I'm exhausted and I really don't. I've already had to re record this twice because mic issues. So you guys are going to get what you get. I'll also put footage of Cyrus and some other kills or whatever, like Minotaur just sitting there AFK killing him, whatever. So all the footage will be at the end, but it's been an insanely fun build, and honestly, will probably be league starting this same build next league. It's fully proven and tested. You can start leveling this without even doing lab. You can start RF. I mean, it's very impressive. Jugg, like we actually have decent damage, like actually pretty solid damage. Now it did cost a pretty penny. I mean, we're probably 25, 20, 20, 20, 20, 25 div deep. Well, probably like 20. Yeah. Yeah, I would say probably about 20. The uniques are really not that expensive. Like, this is so cheap. Like, this is like a good one is like 50 chaos. Like, it's nothing. Right. And so, and then a lot of this can be self crafted. As far as currency goes, like, this thing does expedition. It doesn't do blight very well, TBH, but it does expedition. It does ritual. Both of those are extremely well. Harvest, it does an incredible job at harvest, especially with Infernal Cry. Um, so that is mainly what I focus on. Legion, it doesn't do that well. It takes way too long to kill the rares, especially the really juicy ones. You really need a bursty build to do Legion. With that said, like this is the build I'm really happy with the way it performs. It could be a bit more tanky, but that at that point you're going to be running into a dual cluster setup with like 90 all res and all that good stuff. You know, you're going to be swapping out gems for purity of elements to get your all res up, and that's just not that's just not as far as I want to take it. Uh, this thing should be. I'll be doing a Maven clear at some point to prove the build in its entirety, um, and yeah. So, God, I'm just like really pleased with the amount of damage that I was able to squeeze out on Juggernaut. It's actually really cool. So yeah, that's it. Map footage and clips will be at the end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed this RF kind of journey that I've been on. I don't know what our next skill is going to be, but we are going to do one more build because we have like 30 div to spend. What it's going to be, I have no idea. I'll have to. Most likely it'll be a caster, right? Because we did a minion, we did a melee. Let's do a caster next, right? So I need to figure out what I want to do. So, if you guys did enjoy this video and are enjoying the series of build making and the processes of it and the updates, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps the channel out a lot, and it puts a smile on my face. So, with that said, you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Um, be good, take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you guys very soon.